So we are in peak BS season, and everyone is lying. And again, all these NFL insiders and analysts, they're great at their jobs, but it's not like they're investigative reporters. They're not Woodward and Bernstein. They're not, we cracked the code. We know what this team is going to take. So everyone who leaks information this time of year generally has an agenda. Hey, did you hear this? Because hey, if you're an NFL executive or a scout, and it's like, hey, if I leak this information, this could help my team because of X, Y, Z. And so take everything that's reported in the media, everything you see in mock drafts with a massive grain of salt. But it's still fun. It's still fun. Like, people, especially guys, like we say that we don't like drama. We like drama. Like, in this context, where so the wife really loves Vanderpump Rules, and apparently a lot of stuff went down in the last couple weeks there. I could not care less, but then I tried to explain what's going on with all the rumors and trades and speculation in NFL free agency and the draft, and she could not care less. But it's the same tea. It's the same damn drama. But so there's a long way of getting into. So the Vikings, you may have noticed that there's been a lot of steam about the Vikings taking a first-round quarterback. Now, it makes sense. Kirk Cousins, on the final year of his deal, need to find the quarterback of the future. And even though the Vikings don't have a second-round pick, don't have a ton of draft capital this year, and essentially you'd be spending a first-round pick on a guy who ideally is going to be sitting a year, still there. It's still there, man. Where Daniel Jeremiah started things off earlier in the week, mocking Hendon Hooker to the Vikings at 23. Now, I think that was the first I had seen of Hooker being in the first round. I think that he's for sure will be an early second round pick, at minimum top 50. But that was the first time I see him crack the first round. And like we said, Daniel Jeremiah, former NFL scout, dialed in with a lot of people that are still in the know. So we'll get into some of the entomology of some of these rumors and stuff. But also, Charles Davis of Fox Sports, formerly CBS, calls college and NFL. He had the Vikings take Will Levis at 23. So there's a couple things there. Number one, the Vikings being interested in a first-round quarterback. And number two, he's not as high as Will Levis as some people. And does he have like a good read on how the league sees Will Levis? Because a lot of people see the big four going minimum like top 7. Top 4 quarterbacks, but he had the top 3 going in the top 4, and then Levis falling down to the Vikings at 23. And also this week, Alec Lewis of The Athletic, who's very plugged in, Vikings beat writer, he had the Vikings moving all the way up to 7 with the Raiders going up to go get Will Levis. So there's a lot of things going on, and just trying to trace some of the entomology of this stuff, right? Because like we said, it's peak BS season, and take everything with a grain of salt. But number one, it's not Kwesi or Kevin O'Connell or director of college scouting Jamal Stevenson or high-level scouts spilling the beans. Like they're not going to these reporters and saying like, we're in on a quarterback. That ain't happened. Or like Kwesi's like, hey, Alec Lewis, The Athletic. Hey, Charles Davis. Hey, Daniel Jeremiah. We're taking a quarterback, man. Click. No, that ain't happening, right? Unless it's deliberate misinformation. Because you'll see this a lot where unnamed sources will say that this player has a bad knee or there's character concerns or XYZ, and it's so funny, like the psyops and asymmetrical warfare, where say a team is really interested in a player, but they need the player to fall in the draft. So all of a sudden they'll put out it's like, hey, we're worried about their skinny knees, or hey, we're worried about this. And then all in an effort to sow doubt in the minds of the teams ahead of them and just go from there. Right? And then hopefully the player falls. Or it's rumors from other executive scouts. So, some of these NFL insiders, they have, like we said, they have high-end contacts with some GMs, some executives, some high-level scouts, and I mean I'm sure they get some of the scuttlebutt of what they're hearing, because I mean all these scouts and executives they're at the combine, they're traveling to pro days, and of course they gossip. I mean after festivities, they go grab a couple bush lattes and talk shop, and it's like, what do you think they talk about? They don't talk about Vanderpump Rules. Actually, they might. It's kind of a big deal. Anyways, but they talk about what's going on. It's like, it's literally like gossiping amongst your family, or like in high school or your friends group. It's like, hey, did you hear what the Ravens are doing? Oh, that's right, they're doing jack squat. Hey, did you hear that the Vikings are in on a quarterback? No way. Hey, Vikings. Do you love quarterbacks? Do you want to be my friend? Check yes or no. That's what's going on. Or talks among pro day attendees, like we said, and then this trickles down, matriculates down the field to some of the NFL insiders, and then that gets put into the mock drafts, and that gets put out into the atmosphere and all that stuff. Or it's just BS season BS. I mean, it may be a spot where the Vikings and Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, in their heart of hearts, may be completely out on quarterback. It's like, we got other needs, and Levis is probably going to go ahead of 23. We're not good with Hooker at 23, but blah, blah, blah. Or, I mean, it could be a spot where, I mean, you're the Ravens, you're the Chargers, you're the Seahawks, you're the Steelers, actually, let's go Steelers, right? So Steelers got their guy in Kenny Pickett, right? And they're not going quarterback, but maybe they see that, hey, we're looking to trade down, so let's try and gin up some demand. And let's put out there that the Vikings are in on quarterback at 23. So maybe if Will Levis takes a tumble, or maybe the league sees Hendon Hooker at higher than most people, and they're not concerned about the age or the ACL, maybe they're trying to gin up a trade market where it's like, hey, if you want your quarterback, you're going to have to leapfrog the Vikings, because the Vikings, A, could move up, or B, if the right guy gets to 23, they're certainly taking him. So it's, again, all this stuff just fascinates me, and it's what makes this time of year fun, because everything you hear is like a lie, but it sounds so plausible, and to a degree you want to believe it, but who knows. But I actually do think that there is some legitimacy here, where everything that Kwesi's been doing, clearing cap of some bad veteran contracts, getting younger in all the right spots, like everything leads up to finding the quarterback of the future. That's the missing piece right now. Like where Kirk Cousins was great last year, but is in a contract year this year. They balked at extending him long term, so they got to find their guy, and it makes logical sense. And Kwesi's a logical dude, so we'll see, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Why has there been some first-round quarterback steam amongst the Minnesota Vikings as of late? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.